Okay, this is day 15, and I was very pleased this morning when I woke up, weighed myself after yesterday's feast day, and I was 133.4, which is good. That's very good. And I think that what it is that I might have been 131.4, and I'm calories in, there's basic math and caloric um, BTUs and physical exercise, but I think I'm in a realm right now where one day obviously didn't tip the scales, so far out of range, which is great. And also I got myself back on track today. There was no, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll wake up and have a cup of coffee, and no, none of that stuff. I felt I did what I did in the social setting that I was in, an office party. I wanted to join in, and you know, it seems to have been okay. So today, main thing I did was to weed the garden. I woke up, of course, I had my oatmeal, and then I made a bunch of Mexican food with corn, rice, beans, salsa, red and green pepper, yum, yum, yum. And I had a little bit of that, and then I took the rest of it down when I went to garden. I also had 2 peaches. I had, oh, I know what I did today. I made some delicious oatmeal cookies because I like to have a cookie in the house, like a low glycemic, low fat cookie. This was, I chopped up like quarter of an apple, raisins, I chopped up a couple dates. I, used my flax egg applesauce for sweetener, and then I used some of the Swerve brown sugar and the sweetener. I can't remember the name of it. It starts with a P, but it's like Swerve. And I used mostly whole wheat flour, a little white flour, and oatmeal, and a little baking soda. And there's also some other like little addition I put in there. Can't quite remember the name of it. You only use like a quarter of a teaspoon of it, and seems to help when you're cooking without oil. And I made a lot of them, and they turned out really tasty, nice and sweet, and that chopped apple gave them real nice moist flavor, and so that was great. And I took some of them down with me, and now I have some. I froze the rest of them and left a few out for tomorrow. And so mostly I just worked, all day, not all day, all afternoon. And I'd go up to the house and have a couple bites of the Mexican food, maybe a chomp of the peach, and a lot of fluid. Took a BAI with me. Took a water bottle with me, which I proceeded to spill all over my bag. It was only water. And then, I was there till pretty late, and I drove home, and I thought I wanted to have a little bit of that pasta primavera, and but I needed carrots. So I went to the store, I got a bag of carrots, and I made up a really nice pasta primavera. Everything, the low-fat cheese sauce, and just basically sauteed vegetables. And I had some of the chickpea pasta. I ended up toasting it in the air fryer at the end after I cooked everything on the stove to heat the cheese sauce on it. But I was very careful. I only filled a little, not a little, but a large ramekin, not the smallest ramekin, like a mid-sized ramekin of pasta, and that's all I had. And I have another portion for tomorrow, which is great. And so that's so important now, is that I'm going for the flavor. I'm going for, just I needed a little something to eat, but not to stuff myself. And also I'm still eating fruit for a snack, which is like so great, and not off caffeine entirely, because I have been drinking green tea, and I did have a black tea when I was gardening. It was kind of early evening, but off the coffee. And I was watching a video on YouTube. It's about uric acid, and he's not a real big fan of, well, um, cheap carbohydrates like processed foods, processed carbohydrates. Um, but that keeping the body at a low acid level, I think coffee raises it. They say salt does, and I love my salt. It's like my one vice that I mean, I have many minor vices, but I know that I eat too much salt. But it just jazzes up the food, and I what they were saying is that salt tends to, the body tends to retain fat, not just water. Like everybody knows that high salt you'll retain water, but he was also explaining how the body holds on to fat when you have a high salt diet. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I should give up salt, and then I was like, no, no, I don't want to do that. I don't. I've done it, and that was one time when I really. That was on the Pritikin diet many years ago. It was no salt. I took it very seriously, and I had great results, you know. But I'm not ready for that yet. So I had a little kombucha with my pasta, and then I had 3 of my apple cookies and a nice peppermint tea. So it was a good day. You know, I'm preparing myself mentally for when this is over, and I'll start my juice fast again. I have about 10 days left. I have a couple parties. I have like 3 parties next week. And I don't think that the parties will be the sort where either I can't, one is at a restaurant and I can choose what I eat. The other 2, there'll be enough selection that I don't have to eat the high caloric foods. It won't be like yesterday's party where everything was high calorie, except for the salad. I'll be pretty good with that, and then I'm going to go back on 10-day juice fast, which, you know, I'm looking forward to it because still want to ratchet it down. And being on the portion control diet that I'm on, I'm losing just a little bit, but I really would like to take off another 4 or 5 pounds. You know, that would be good. And I had got good exercise today working in the garden. You know, I was weeding. I weeded the whole bottom garden, and now it's ready to be mulched. So that was, and I was out in the sun, and it's really, I had a nice story to listen to, and it was very good. I was very happy. Okay, so that's it for today's wrap up.